How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We just had Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, the $10 trillion asset manager, go on live TV and talk about Bitcoin for about 3 minutes. And at the end, Jim Cramer thanks him for changing his mind on Bitcoin. Let's play that clip, see what the CEO of probably the most influential asset manager in the world says about Bitcoin and the uses of Bitcoin, why he thinks it's valuable, and what he says are some of the limitations. And let's go through a lot of the other news in the market, including some news about Ethereum, including some news about Tesla, including more news about Bitcoin. If you don't mind, hit subscribe. Turn on the bell notification so you can see future videos just like this. There's going to be a link underneath the video to Margex, where you can trade Bitcoin, you can trade Solana, you can trade other assets on leverage. Of course, always check their terms and conditions, but as you can see here, we're getting into a pretty interesting level because we've seen some resistance right around the $64,000 mark. This is actually, if you go back a couple of years, this is one of the cycle peaks of the last cycle. So it'll be interesting. We either break out and make a big move, or maybe we get rejected. If you want to play this, there's a link to it underneath the video. They're also doing a massive airdrop right now where you can get thousands of dollars for free just by trading and hitting the join now button. There's also a link to CoinW underneath the video as well in case you want to trade over there. They're also doing an airdrop where you can get some free ton tokens, which is the Telegram token, which has been absolutely on fire this year. So definitely check that out. Now, last thing I want to say too, in case you're interested in the Bitcoin Nashville conference, Donald Trump's going to be a headliner, Russell Brand, Kathy Wood, Michael Saylor, Snowden. There's a link where you can get 10% off underneath the video with my code. So use that code, get some discount there if you're going to go. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a pretty interesting event. Let's start here. Bunch of short liquidations, $108 million worth of shorts being liquidated. Of course, maybe we see a little bit of a some kind of correction just to wreck some of the longs too. It will be interesting to see, but right now a bunch of shorts being liquidated, and not even all the shorts show up on here as we talked about in the last video because some people close out their shorts early. But yeah, there's a lot of shorts being liquidated. Let's look at this. Bottom is in. Bitcoin ETFs took in 1.05 billion last week. We obviously don't have today's numbers, but so far it's a high trading day in terms of volume. I bid in the top 10 of all ETFs with $173 million of volume as of 10 a.m. I believe this is Eastern time, so half an hour into trading. You can see this is pretty impressive. Obviously, 173 million is nothing to scoff at after half an hour of trading. And Bitcoin obviously led the market, but we're starting to see some inflows in other assets like Ethereum with 72.1 million. We'll talk more about Ethereum later, but multi-asset 17.2. Short Bitcoin actually saw some outflows, which is positive for the market. Solana saw 4.4 million in inflows. This is all from institutions. And I believe this has been an insane year already. We have, it says somewhere in here, 17.8 billion year to date, which beat significantly the 10.6 billion set in 2021. So we've already had a record year in terms of institutional investment, which has been pretty obvious already. Let's play this. This is Larry Fink talking about Bitcoin on live TV with CNBC, Jim Cramer. Let's show it here.
Now, I know you have been a leader in willing to embrace crypto. You have made it so that people can be in Bitcoin. We hear that you are thinking about Ethereum. These are incredible things. Now, BlackRock is not known as a gunslinger by any means, so you obviously must believe that this maybe is an alternative. Is this an alternative in order to be able, because of a deficit, maybe something long-term people should have?
Absolutely. As you know, I was a skeptic.
Yes.
I was a proud skeptic. And I studied it, learned about it, and I came away saying, okay, my opinion 5 years ago was wrong. Here's my opinion today. This is what I believe in today. I believe the opportunity today. I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. I'm not trying to say there's not misuses like everything else, but it is a legitimate financial instrument that allows you to have maybe uncorrelated, non-correlated type of returns. I believe it is an instrument that you invest in when you're more frightened, though. It is an instrument when you believe that countries are debasing their currency, by excess deficits, and some countries are. I believe we have countries where you're frightened of your everyday existence, and if you have an opportunity to invest in something that is outside your country's control, then you can have more financial control. And so I'm a major believer that there is a role for Bitcoin in portfolios. I believe you're going to see that as one of the asset classes that we all look at. I look at it as digital gold, as I said before, and I do believe there's a real need for everyone to look at it as one alternative to, I would say, the optimism that I have in the world. If you want to hedge hope, Bitcoin is not an instrument for hope unless you're hopeful you're going to make a lot of money on it. But I look at it as a vehicle in which you're expressing your financial acumen in something that you're more frightened of the world, you're more frightened of your existence. And I believe there's a great industrial use for it. And I think a lot of people are missing that.
I couldn't agree more. I changed my mind about it when you did. You had been my thinking. It was like, you don't believe it, so I can't believe it. I want to thank Larry Fink for the message of optimism.
Thanks.
And also for a great quarter. Larry.
Okay, so Jim Cramer says that he changed his mind on Bitcoin when Larry did. I don't know about that. Jim goes back and forth all the time about Bitcoin, but Larry Fink gives some reasons to buy Bitcoin, some reasons why people might be bullish on Bitcoin or want to buy Bitcoin, saying that maybe it's not the best asset to buy because you're hopeful, but maybe it's the best thing to buy if you feel like governments are printing money that they shouldn't, if you feel like, there's just risk out there. There's risk, and you want to buy an alternative investment that is uncorrelated with the market. I think that Bitcoin is hope. I think it's hope to get away from the people that misuse politics, misuse money, but maybe that's a difference, right? Some people don't think that's happening, so maybe they don't want to buy Bitcoin, but it's pretty obvious to anyone that's looking that governments are always printing money. It's interesting, but yeah, Larry Fink is bullish on Bitcoin, says that people pretty much need to look at it as an investment and an alternative investment. So yeah, very bullish to see him going on live TV and talking about Bitcoin for minutes on end because, he runs one of the most influential companies out there that runs the most money, and people respect him. So when they see him go on live TV and talk about Bitcoin very bullishly, they start taking note. Maybe they buy some Bitcoin themselves. Talking about people there buying Bitcoin, Mr. 100 with another 100 Bitcoin buy. I know we just covered it last night because you bought 400 Bitcoin or 405 Bitcoin, but yeah, another small $6.4 million buy today. It's just fascinating to continue to watch this, and it continues to happen day after day. So we're going to keep on talking about it. Welcome to Spot ETH Approval Week. Spot ETH ETF Approval Week. Now, to be clear, the Spot Ethereum ETF is already approved. He's talking about the trading, I believe. But Nate Garachi, who's president of ETF Store, host of ETF Prime, co-founder ETF Institute, really into ETF, says, I'm calling it. Don't know anything specific, but just can't come up with a good reason for any further delay at this point. Issuers are ready for launch. Now let's take a look at the ETH Bitcoin chart. As you can see here, it bottomed around 0.045 after, a year and a half, 2 years of downtrend? Yeah, almost 2 years of downtrend from September 2022 to then May of 2024. Yeah, so big downtrend there for years. Now it's come up a couple times above this trend line. As you can see, it looks like we're getting rejected by another trend line now. But it's come up 20% since the bottom to 0.053. It will be interesting to see if this breaks out eventually when the ETH ETFs get approved, or, is this just a way for Grayscale to offload some of their Ethereum? It depends obviously on how many new buyers there will be. But it'll be interesting. Maybe it's a bit of an altcoin rally when that happens. Tesla has secured a $375 million Megapack contract to build a massive 415 megawatt battery in Australia, one of the biggest 4-hour batteries in the world. The battery is expected to commence commercial operations in 2026. So another massive contract for Tesla. I like to cover this when they have these massive contracts. A lot of the time they are in Australia too. They must love Tesla over there. And as you can see, the stock is doing quite well today, up 6% again. And this is after, I believe yesterday or last week, Friday and Thursday, we went down a little bit. But yeah, over the last 6 months, up now 20%. Over the last 1 month, up 40%. So it's been a good month for Tesla shareholders. Just a reminder too, if you do want to get a ticket to Bitcoin Nashville, they do raise these ticket prices ahead of the event. So if you want that 10% off, and you can get an additional, I believe you can stack these on top of each other, an additional 21% off by using Bitcoin, you can use the link and the code underneath the video. So it will be definitely an interesting event. Let me know your thoughts. It looks like Bitcoin just broke out to a new local high, just slightly. But if you do want to trade, again, there are links to MargeX and CoinW underneath the video. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let me know, what do you think about what Larry Fink said on TV? Let me know if you think that that's a good explanation for why someone would want to buy Bitcoin. Let me know in the comments section. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.